From the Oklahoma newsroom, this is an OSU update. I'm Jenny Carlson. It is senior day on Saturday in Stillwater. Yes, it's a big Bedlam game, but the Cowboys will also be celebrating a senior class. And at the top of that list, it has to be J.W. Walsh. John Helsley joins us on the phone to talk about the backup quarterback. And John, obviously it's been an interesting Cowboy career for Walsh, and now he's that backup quarterback, but clearly playing a huge role. But not just on the field. I mean, his impact extends off the field too, right?
Absolutely, Jenny. And, you know, we've heard a lot, even from J.W.'s early years in Stillwater, of what a great leader he was. And that has continued even as injuries have sort of detoured his career. And he's not the starter. And yet as the backup, he still commands a real prominent place with this team. In a lot of ways, I think it's his team, just because of his leadership, because of the way everybody rallies around him and wants him to be a part of this team and succeed. And he's done that with a very nice role here as in his final year. Yeah, we definitely saw him being very vocal at Iowa State, and it happens all the time, I guess is probably the truth of the matter, but definitely rallying the troops. And John, it sounds like guys, I mean, not only allow it, but listen to it on both sides of the ball. Absolutely, and you alluded to Iowa State. You know, we saw him right after the Cowboys took the lead for the first time there. He immediately goes to the sideline and goes up and down with the defensive players, urging those guys to go out and get a stop. And I think it was Seth Jacobs told me that most offensive players, they would have just shrugged those guys off and said, yeah, go ahead. J.W. Walsh, they listen. And I think that really speaks to who he is and what he means to this team. Yeah, I mentioned he's one of those guys that will be honored on Senior Day. And, John, this is a class that, you know, also includes David Glidden, who's become a huge part of the Cowboy offense during his career. Some other guys. I kind of talk about legacy, if you will. What's the imprint of this senior class on this program? You know what? A lot of that imprint could still be decided on Saturday, Jenny. You know, with Bedlam. You know, another Bedlam win. I think it really gives it a boost up. You know, they've been a part. A lot of these guys have been a part of very good teams. Most of them not really active on the 2011 conference championship team. Obviously, though, a team that's had some good wins. Some names that people are going to remember fondly for a long time. You got Jimmy Bean, Ryan Simmons, Kevin Peterson. You mentioned Glidden, obviously Walsh. Brandon Shepard has been a good player for them. It's not a big senior class, but there's some guys in here who have really made a mark. Definitely so, and that ceremony happening before the Bedlam kickoff at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.